Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Today we've got an Alante 31P by Jayco. It's got 3 slides, some about 34,000 miles and then about 870 hours on the generator. Looks used, not abused. Overall, it actually looks pretty sharp. This is a floor plan that, it's a nice traveler, but it opens up and gives us some tremendous space when we get to our destination. So it can really kind of be a good flex use RV. It could be a good seasonal RV, or like if you're gonna be a snowbird or sunbird, like you wanna drive to sunny climates away from the chilly Midwest in the winter and set up shop for a while, you're gonna have the space to enjoy being there, but it's not gonna feel so overwhelming getting there. And first, of course, perhaps the most important part of this RV tour. That was the seat. Next, I thought a little generator test would be in order. Hitting the primer button here, we've got about 886.6 hours at the time that I start this. Naturally, I'm going to rack up a couple here. Took it a little bit. Seems to be running good. I'm going to kick on some air, see how it does. Now, just to really start by putting you in the driver's seat here, you know, this is kind of our view, our perspective, great visibility in one of these. And I tell you, if you're gonna take a long trip, like I'm very much a towable type person, but I tend to camp short distances. I don't tow a long distance. If I was gonna go a long way, it's hard to beat motorized, just for the fact that while you're going down the road, we're actually going to start in road mode instead of holding that off, because I think it's one of the key differences between towable RVs and motorized RVs. Get yourself through here, you can hit yourself a bathroom stop if need be. I'll try not to forget to actually cover the bathroom. I've had a bad habit of that. And as you see here, that Camp Queen when the slide closes does remain fully accessible. And mostly just as an insurance policy in case I forget to come back here and cover the bathroom in more detail. For whatever reason, motorhomes always throw my rhythm off, and I often forget to do that. Figure we'd take a quick peek at that, and then see an amazing before and after on the space these opposing slides give us here in the living room. And that right there is what's so great about this one. The way it just opens right up and gives you just awesome destination space. Now what's really cool about this model is like, this is extremely flexible. This could be a couple's model. This could be a family model. Like I could see this has really good like potential guest capacity. And if you pay attention to the seating as we go through this, it has excellent seatbelt capacity. It can actually seatbelt 2 more people, I think, than it can sleep. That is pretty sweet right there. Now, as you see directly across from the main sofa seating area, you've got a power up-down kind of televator situation, and on like the sides of that little kind of buffet bar, if you will, power outlets and USB plugs are, yes, power outlets and USB plugs, I'm sorry. The right-hand outlet is a combo, the left-hand outlet is household only, so kind of plan accordingly. Now, there is some storage below these benches. It's not full storage because Jayco does provide extra seatbelts. So the 2 back here are kind of like required. But the 2 over here, manufacturers don't have to install those. And when Jayco installs seatbelts, they actually make sure that they are pull tested for 10% more than a federal requirement. And that will also be true of, like, not just those, but all of the seatbelts in this, including those on the sofa over there. Now, as you see, one of the benefits of a Class A versus most Class Cs is the fact that the captain's chairs can rotate around and kind of regain living space that you would otherwise lose. And with this one being carpetless all the way up through the cab area, it just feels very smooth and natural and organic. Now, obviously that little center table there can be popped out of the way. And again, just total transparency here. I'm going to move this chair a little bit. I noticed down here, you see just a little bit, of footwear right there. It's hard to point when you're not sure where your finger's going to show up on camera. And this is something I always loved about these. This is our backup camera monitor, side view camera monitor, things like that. But it's just a magnet faceplate. This is also your RV GPS unit. And what I think is cool about this is if you prefer that over, say, like your phone's GPS, when you get to your destination, you can check out, like, hey, what are we gonna do tomorrow? You know, what do we want to get involved in? What kind of fun things do we want to find? And you can plan that out on that GPS unit, and you can use the RV's system for, you know, running around in the car that you towed here or rent when you get there or whatever. Now, you may have noticed the controls there for our auto leveling. And one of the other nice things here is Jayco boasts, as far as I know, still the best-in-class overhead bed weight ratings at 750 pounds. Not to mention, as you see, you've got that full hide-to-bed sleeper sofa. Now, full admission, again, even things that you can't see on camera, I want to point out. When I folded that out, I noticed what looked to be maybe a little bit of dog hair down in there. I think the previous owners might have been, pet owners. And there's just something about pet hair. It can find us. I'm still finding pet hair under the floorboards of a car that I bought after we got rid of our cat. We didn't even own that car when we had that cat, and I'm still finding its hair under my floorboards. Cracking open all the kitchen storage here. Let's start right up top, since this is kind of a sofa galley combo slide. It's an interesting kind of in the corner kitchen, but what's sort of cool is where the sink is. That's a fixed section of the RV, whereas everything else is part of the slide out. And over here, this was optioned with the bigger refrigerator. When this was made, a 8 or 10 cubic foot gas electric fridge plus a pantry there would have been standard. This one built with the little bit bigger fridge. And then one other thing to think about, if you are sitting here on the sofa or if you're sitting at the dinette, whether you're traveling or if you're at your destination, you see that you've got a full viewing window with privacy shade in the entry door. The TV can get down out of the way, not to mention all the views that you get from the front of the cab area. The visibility in this thing is second to none. Unlike my visual acuity, it's getting bad. when I wake up, it's tricky because I need my glasses to find my glasses. Anybody else have that problem? And how about this? I actually remembered to get in here and get your footage of the bathroom. I go through these funny phases where like I'll forget to do that. One of the things I haven't talked about is that this does have a nice tall ceiling space here. So if I actually, get in here in the shower and using my own balding head as a point of reference, you can see I've got some excellent head space in here. It's very, very comfortable. About 6'3", this has got to be at least 6.5 foot here with the 7 foot ceiling. By the time you step up in the shower, that roughly adds up. You lose about 6 inches into a step up shower, which is done for some RV plumbing code, by the way. And now flipping you around, camera's going to pause, so I'll make a funny face. Giving you a look at the water closet, as it were. I'm a little surprised to see a plastic stool here. I'm sure that could be swapped out to porcelain if that is your preference. That's a big double vanity too, and I like all the drawer space. And there's something about a window in a bathroom. It just really makes everything classy. I know we talk about it all the time, but it just really strikes me for some reason. You might notice that little hole back there is a sliding privacy door right here to close off the rear bed space. Now, because it's a bed in a slide, that does pretty much have to be a Camp Queen. Otherwise, it does need to do some kind of folding action. If you wanted to, I'm sure you could swap that out to get some kind of, what do I want to say here? Like True Queen or longer bed. Or actually, hold on, this is easy. Get like a 6-inch spacer block and shove it in here in the headboard. Just grab the mattress, slide it down like that, and put a spacer block up there when you get to your destination. Your pillow's gonna cover it, you'll never know it's there. And then when you travel, you just push it back. You take the block out, you push it back, no big deal. Now this is something you just don't see a lot of for some reason in today's market, and I don't understand it. It's a split air system. This RV does have dual centrally ducted air conditioners. It is a 30 amp coach. So kind of keep that in mind right there. And then, across from us here, this thing, it's, I Googled it, and what Bing told me was to ask Jeeves, and he said AOL claimed this was storage galorage. Big double closets, dresser, drawer space, all over the place, up in your face in this thing, including that center area. There's triple drawers there. There's a drop down kind of like privacy pocket. And then you see again, the bonus storage above behind the entertainment center. Not to mention, I'm going to spin you left or right. It doesn't really matter. We're going to go to the right. You've got breeze windows straight across from the bed right here. And there goes another happy Haylett customer with a nice used fifth wheel. And this was the first generation, I believe, where they changed the Alantes from what I called old man tan to the more modern white with a little bit more up-to-date graphics. And there were a couple different color striping patterns that were available on these. I always liked this more neutral. It's just a polar white base tone with some kind of graphite and silver sort of accents to it. I don't know. To me, it looks good no matter what. There are also a few kind of tan-ish stripes down there at the bottom, but nothing too major. It almost just looks like the sun reflecting off it funny. Now that is just a giant 120-inch, I think, corner to corner, seamless big windshield here, and seamless nose cap, which eliminates major potential water penetration points. Water penetration, of course, being the fancy dancy talk for leaks. See the slide awnings in place on here. This is, again, Ford chassis with a Triton V10 power plant. It'll pass pretty much anything but a gas station. And the wind is not being kind today, and these baggage doors don't have any sort of gas struts. So what I'm going to do is kind of walk our way down the sidewall here slowly, give you a look at everything. The Goodyear tires looking absolutely fantastic. I don't see any funky weather patterns, wear patterns, or anything like that. Starting over here with door number 1. This is just a general little storage compartment from what I see. Nothing too amazing there, but every little ounce of space counts. Backing up a little bit here, doors number 2 and 3, starting right there, you'll see are actually kind of like pass-through compartments. One of the nice things about that is this is a gasser, not a diesel pusher. So it does have an extended drivetrain that runs through the entirety of the belly. So again, doors 2 and 3, you see some pass-through storage capacity there. Very good for like picnic tables and things, but that's why there's the little hump instead of the wide open bay. Now you might hear a little bit of that rumbling going on right there, a little rumblage. That would be our own generator, again, just under 870 hours at the time of this filming. Back tires also looking just about as good as the front ones. I can't say this for certain. Either the RV was kept cleaned with regularity, or it was stored inside, because if I move you over here, you can see just the gleam on this. It's just phenomenal. It's just absolutely phenomenal. The gloss and the gleam that's still on here. The decals and stuff aren't peeled and flaking. Backing up a little bit over here to the corner again, finishing up a couple baggage compartments. On the right-hand side, we see where the power cord is basically integrated. And then, of course, you've got your little sewer connection station right there. Backing ourselves up. Nothing too out of the ordinary on the rear here. 5,000-pound tow capacity on this, by the way. As we saw, you've got integrated rear and side view cameras. You may notice no ladder. That's just a thing Jayco doesn't seem to do a lot of, even as a removable ladder. I prefer ladders integrated onto RVs myself. But hey, to each their own, I suppose. You get some sort of collapsible telescopic ladder that you could use in that pass-through belly compartment, and it'd probably do the job pretty darn well. Now over here, a couple more baggage doors to look at, and then we're pretty much done with those. Starting down here, again, just a couple little generic points for you, one of which being the onboard battery tray storage, and then we bring ourselves out here to the outdoor entertainment center. What's kind of cool, this is completely separate from everything else inside. You've got extra household outlets out here in case you want to keep some phone chargers or something rolling. And this is not just an outdoor stereo. It actually has a little hidden DVD slot back there. And if you're like, yeah, but I can't get this thing all the way down, that's because this TV actually can swing out and pivot around a little bit to face some different directions on your campsite. Now you saw where I had the patio open. It's actually one of the things I like about the forward slide on this one, and with no bedroom slide, you have a very nice, dedicated patio awning space there all the time, and the slide out in front of it kind of creates a little organic seclusion, But speaking of organic seclusion, have I ever told you about how growing up as a nerd, I kept myself very organically separated from a lot of people? They just didn't want to be around me. And then nerd culture kind of became an okay thing. But yeah, I was social distancing way before it was cool. Just when I was a kid, it was called, being in band. So if there's anything I haven't answered for you, feel free to give our team a call or leave me a comment, and I'll do my best. I do leave you a link, by the way, in the description for pricing and availability. You can check all of that out without ever needing to call or anything like that. If you need some sample payments or you got a trade-in, you need a tow bar, any of that stuff, give us a call. We'll get you rolling. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.